क्या है ये? छुपे तेरे नोट्स कैमरे पे दिख नहीं रहा है अब डायरी पे क्या लिखा है. I was a poor actor. I was not one of the best student because I had not done any acting work when I went there. I just showed up and somehow I got selected. So I picked up that phone and I said, "Papa, मैं ऐसे मुझे scholarship मिल गई है और." And then he said, "मेरे आने से पहले निकल जाना बेटा." आपकी अगर फैमिली डिस्फंक्शनल रही है कभी भी बचपन में या आपके
ज़्यादातर लोगों की रहती है,
तो आपको यार थोड़ा सा सॉर्ट कर लेना चाहिए. The pain, the suffering, the uncertainty, artists are able to use it in their performances.
Is that healthy, Vijay?
It's not healthy at all.
To find that hope and that beauty in the pain that you have been through and to express it
I
any
just
form.
thank God that I have a place to express something.
Hey Vijay, I just wanted to see how you cope with silences because
Yeah,
you seem to be doing very well with silences on screen.
yeah.
Welcome to chapter 2.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. You're looking amazing.
Thank you
You're
so much.
styled so well as usual, and
Yeah.
I know you style yourself. So
Yeah.
I love that you've integrated chapter 2 in it. It is our honor to have such a stylish man in chapter 2.
I've been dripping in chapter 2.
Yeah, you really have been rocking it, yeah?
Yeah.
We've been taking inspiration from you and styling our models. Like, just see what he's doing and do it like that.
Oh, nice. I'm not getting credit for it though.
Credit you'll get.
Okay.
Your time will come. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. It's. I had a night shoot last night, and you know about it.
I had a night shoot too, but that sounds very wrong. So I'm just going to say, just to set context, Vijay and I have been working together on a project for the
Yeah.
last couple of months.
Yeah.
But as usual, we don't have the liberty to say anything
Yeah, what it is. and
ever
not officially, it's announced
for
and
a few
stuff.
months.
But yeah, we had a night shoot. So what happens after a night shoot is the next day, it's just something about your head.
Body clock.
Yeah, your mind-body connection goes just go to a little like that.
Yeah.
It's not like you had a relaxing or fun night. It's work, you
It's
know.
work.
And it's intense work most of the times for the characters that I usually choose.
For the
They are-
parts that you play.
that
all grey.
usually are loaded with a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does take a beating on me. So it takes me some time to kind of recalibrate myself. So yeah, but I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very
I'm very
happy to be doing
happy.
this with you.
Yeah, me too.
I love this podcast, and when you started this, it looked like a perfect match. It looked like you are meant to do this, and the brand and the messaging and everything and the conversations, it's all very, very inspiring.
Thank you. I'd like to believe that I'm a far better podcast talk show host than I'm an actor. So yes.
We're going to debunk that
I-
theory very soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But you know what's amazing is that I have often noticed with people I know and who are friends like you who come on the podcast, हमारी बाहर जो भी बात होती है ना, podcast पे आने के बाद एक अलग ही उनका side मुझे पता चल जाता है.
अच्छा.
I get to know them differently because
Yeah.
for some reason I feel life में हम लोग उतनी बात नहीं कर पाते हैं जितनी हम यहाँ पे करते हैं.
Yeah, but it's interesting because रिया तुम्हारे साथ मेरी जितनी बातें हुई है शायद कम ही लोगों के साथ हुई होगी पिछले कुछ महीनों में. तुम सबसे ज्यादा बात तुमसे की है मेरे ख्याल से मैंने इतने टाइम से. तो let's see what else can come out of this conversation, but I think you know a lot about me.
I'm looking forward, and I think the whole idea of this podcast, even when it started, was that a large part of my recovery was through people.
Yeah.
Through their life stories, उनकी journey.
Yeah.
अच्छा सबके साथ कुछ ना कुछ हुआ है.
Yeah.
It kind of sets things in perspective. So I felt like this is what community really means, right?
It does.
At the end of the day.
It does. In fact, मतलब कभी-कभी दूसरे के घाव से अपने घाव छोटे लगते हैं और हमारे घाव का जो असर हम पे हो रहा है वो असर कम हो जाता है. Just to hear somebody else gone through similar experiences. That's why, you know, the poetry, that's why art, that's why stories, they matter because it gives people a refuge of very nuanced, personalized situations which feel very personal to you, but then you realize these are also global, universal emotions and themes.
Yeah.
And you're no longer alone.
Yeah.
somebody has gone through this. ये अकेले आप इस पाथ पे नहीं चल
नहीं
रहे हो,
चल
तुमसे पहले कोई चल के वहां पहुंच गया है कहीं पर, और उसने इस जर्नी के दौरान उसने जो डिस्कवर किया है वो आपके साथ शेयर कर रहा है, इससे आपको मरहम मिल रहा है. तो you also have an opportunity to tell your story so that the baton passes on and somebody
Yeah.
else can, learn from it.
I truly believe that everyone should, through their life experiences and stories, कुछ तो उनको आर्ट रिलेटेड करना चाहिए, चाहे वो कविता लिखनी हो या गाना गाना हो या
नहीं.
पेंटिंग बनाना हो.
हाँ.
बिकॉज लाइक यू सेड, हर इंसान की स्टोरी में कुछ ना कुछ होता है फॉर somebody else. That's
Correct.
the only single most unique,
Correct.
kind of footprint, blueprint you have on earth.
Yes, that's the ultimate nepotism. Like
Nobody.
it's like
Yeah.
मेरी कहानी जो है वो मेरे परिवार तक सीमित नहीं है या मेरे अपने लोगों तक सीमित नहीं है. मेरी कहानी से एक स्पीशीज, एक ह्यूमैनिटी को भी बेनिफिट हो सकता है, या किसी को कुछ एक मतलब सहारा मिल सकता है, कंधा मिल सकता है, एक राहत की सांस मिल सकती है. So
तो
that's the sense of community.
वही जानना चाहते हैं हम आज.
हाँ.
आपकी कहानी.
जी. इतनी हिंदी तो रिया तूने कभी नहीं
मैं
बोली.
बहुत हिंदी में बात करती हूँ. हाँ बिल्कुल. हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों.
अरे वाह.
100 on 100 मिले थे मुझे हिंदी में 10th स्टैंडर्ड के बोर्ड में.
100 on 100.
100 on 100.
I was in the 90s in हिंदी, but 100 on 100 कभी नहीं मिला.
मुझे 100 on 100. तो आपकी कहानी शुरू से शुरू करते हैं. I think before I start with anything, I wanted to ask you. I've been watching you, of course, and then we've hung out and we've interacted. And I don't see कि इंडिया में इतने ज़्यादा जो मर्द हैं इतने स्टाइलिशली ड्रेसअप करते हैं. Like they don't have this. Also, you own your like feminine, masculine styles really well. Like the gender fluidity, the way you carry it, it's seamless. Where does that come from? Because like in India, ज़्यादातर मर्दों का ये है कि नहीं, they have to be masculine.
Yeah.
They are so scared that हम feminine ना हो जाएं.
Correct.
गलती से हम कुछ ऐसा gender fluid ना हो जाएं.
क्योंकि it's a snarky remark in the school. It's that bullying कि ये लड़की जैसा है.
Right.
It's कि इसकी दाढ़ी नहीं आती, या इस तरह के सारे जो होते हैं ना, उसका एक स्टिग्मा बन जाता है. लड़कों में बहुत होता है ये.
Why isn't that there for you?
I think there are a few factors. If I think about it, of course, when I was doing theatre and when I was at the film school at FTII, somehow, I don't know why, I was a poor actor. I was not one of the best.
Really?
Student. I was a good student, but I was a poor actor. Because I had not done any acting work when I went there. I just showed up and somehow I got selected. So every other person in the classroom was far more educated than me and learned. And they'd done either theatre or they'd read several books or plays or performed or danced or sang and so many other skills that actors, are supposed to have. I had nothing. So usually when they would cast for plays, we would sit and read, and I didn't know how to read for drama. Like for a play, reading is reading for me, but a play reading is when you read in a fashion that it also expresses emotions,
With emotion.
understands timing, cadence, rhythm, pauses, commas, everything has to work in the reading itself. It does not have to work, but whoever does better gets this job.
Right.
Right. So every other student got all the leading parts, and there would be no part. So I would play minor parts in plays, and then there was this one sequence where this mela is happening, and one of my classmates was a very good singer-dancer. So he became a mela performer. And the play is set in the time 1930s. So 1930s में Bengal का setup था. So there was the concept of men dressing up as women and performing women's part.
Very folk.
So the director was like कि एक लड़का कोई लड़की का उसमें कपड़ों में perform करेगा इसके साथ. So and I said I'll do it. I just jumped because I wanted to do something in the play.
Yeah.
And the first time I wore a draped a sari Bengali style, and I went and performed, and I didn't feel shy because all of them were my classmates. I was very happy to have an opportunity and a song in the middle of a play.
Yeah.
I didn't know the effect of it, eventually kya hoga, but when the show actually happened after 2-3 months of rehearsals, इतनी तालियां पड़ी, इतनी सीटियां पड़ी उस पे, that I was like, this felt good, and I got typecasted.
Okay.
स्टूडेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स में मुझे बहुत सारी लड़कियों के रोल मिलने लग गए, या तो बहुत ऐसे कुछ दादाजी टाइप के रोल करता था, या फिर लड़की के रोल करता था. आई डिडंट फिट इनटू anything. So
There was no box.
yeah, I was just roaming around whatever opportunity I was getting in the school, in the diploma films and the plays and stuff. But I think if I go back even further, when I was I'm the youngest in the family. We have 3 siblings. I'm the older sister, then brother, then me. And my sister and I were very close. And my mom and my sister were very like besties.
Okay.
They're still besties. So my sister always wanted to have another sister
Okay.
to play Gudiya with. Because I was not interested in Gudiya.
I feel you.
तो उसको गुड़िया से खेलना था, उसको गुड़िया के बाल करना था, उसको ये सब करना था, उसके साथ कोई कंपेनियन नहीं था. एंड माय मॉम वाज टू बिजी टू डू दिस, एंड शी वुड कंप्लेन कि मेरे को एक बहन क्यों नहीं मिल गई. सो माय सिस्टर एंड माय मदर वुड, यू नो, एट टाइम्स व्हेन दे आर गेटिंग रेडी एंड ऑल, दे विल मेक मी वेयर लड़कियों के कपड़े. When I was a little boy, like 4-year-old, 5-year-old, they'll make me wear लड़कियों के कपड़े, they'll put nail paint on me and this and that. And it was their basically entertainment.
हाँ. They used you.
I mean, but somehow I felt it, like I felt loved and
enjoyed it.
and I enjoyed it. So I think that stigma was thrown out as a kid itself, and I was very comfortable in my skin. I never felt like this could, question my masculinity
Right.
in any way. So I think I also have a build which is very friendly for clothes.
Oh, you mean like a model body?
No, I don't.
Sample size.
Yeah, sample size. You know the term.
I get
so
it.
it's so when the designers, they send outfit, they have certain sizes that go on the runway, right?
Right.
And most of them end up fitting me. So I have a wide variety to select from.
Both genders and in between too.
मेरे साथ ऐसे बहुत बार हुआ है कि मैं एक इवेंट पे गया हूँ कुछ पहन के, और मैंने एकदम रेड कार्पेट पे पोस्ट कर दिया, ये सब हो गया, घर पे आ गया, उसके बारे में लोग पोस्ट कर चुके हैं, पेप पेजेस पे हैं, मैंने पोस्ट कर दिया है, एंड देन समहाउ somebody writes कि this is from this brand, this is from the women's section, and then I call my stylist, is this from the women's section? Yeah, it's like, and they don't even bother telling me anymore, but they're like, Vijay will wear it.
Which is great. Which is, I think, it's kind of very cool, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, it's outfit.
I like it.
I do no outfit का कोई जात, उसका धर्म, उसकी कोई.
I agree. I completely agree. Like, I believe in gender fluid clothes, and I mean, we only make unisex clothes for the exact
your
same.
entire brand, you can pick up anything and anybody can wear.
Yeah, it's for the exact same reason that my brother and I used to share clothes.
Oh.
But because you were talking about your mom and your sister, I kind of want to go back into your early life. मतलब बचपन में having 2 women so close to you, kind of builds you up a different way. आपकी personality पे एक असर होता है.
Yeah.
वो असर क्या था? Who's the closest person to you in your family? What is the bond you share with your mom or your sister or anyone from your family that has shaped you in some way?
I had, when I was a little boy, I used to be fascinated by my father, because he would go off for his business tours for like a week, 10 days, and I think that distance with him also created a lot of longing for him, and he would come back, and of course with some goodies, and also he is a very dynamic personality. He's flamboyant in many ways, and he's also he's got short temper. He's got so many different packages in him that often kept me very surprised and also like shocked at times. My mom was like very steady and very loving and very like, but occupied in her daily routine. But she was very attached to my sister, and actually my sister was very dependent on my mom for everything. So my love for my father started to kind of take a beating when I became a teenager, because what I felt that he loves me so much, but yet he wants so many things from me which I don't want, in terms of the career that he wants me to choose, or the kind of time I want to spend, the day I want to spend, the way I want to spend the time with me, the friendships that he doesn't enjoy, and so many small things that he didn't like about me. They started to pop up a lot more, and that created a distance between me and my father. And I found out that my mother has been the stronger anchor. So I leaned more towards her from my teens. Also because I needed one parent to really like support me completely, because मेरे जो dreams और ambitions थे और जो सपने थे वो मैं शायद किसी के साथ share नहीं कर सकता था. In fact, my parents also didn't know for long that I wanted to. I was harboring this dream of becoming, getting into movies and becoming an actor.
What was that journey? Like, how does a boy suddenly out of nowhere, who has no background of like anyone in the family जो acting से है या कहीं से है, decide कि यार नहीं मुझे तो actor बनना है, मुझे FTI जाना है?
यार ये ना बहुत एकदम से नहीं हुआ. I think when I was 18, 19, uh, outside my college, one model coordinator kind of a person came. He said, I want to take a couple of pictures of you.
Because your sample size.
We'll pay you 200, 500, something like that. Just wear this chashma. We'll take some pictures. So small modeling gigs started coming in, which were not serious and not even amateur. It was just a gig. But that I enjoyed those. Then I figured, ki, this, if I go down this path, of course, I know that my father, apart from working with him in the family business, उसके अलावा वो कुछ नहीं चाहते थे. बस एक ही ऑप्शन था कि मेरे साथ काम करो फैमिली बिजनेस में, और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है.
And family businesses are usually boring.
Actually, I could have enjoyed the business, but I didn't enjoy the
Working with-
company of my
Fair.
father.
Fair.
So I did everything in my capacity to not be around him, because his temper started growing exponentially as I got into my teens, and it kept getting worse. The more I didn't listen to him, the more angry he would get. What it did was it created a distance from him, which actually became very helpful for me, because I then started to figure out what I want to do
And who you are.
and who I am. So I tried odd jobs, which he hated. कि उनका बोलना था कि नौकर नौकरी करते हैं, हम व्यापार करते हैं. So that mentality that he had was so strong कि अगर तुम नौकरी करो तो तुम नौकर हो. Which actually, if I look at my own life right now, it makes sense. I'm also fully
Right.
self-employed,
Right.
completely autonomous running system. I'm an artist.
But you've also done odd jobs.
So I went.
नौकरी भी की है आपने.
मैंने कुछ 5 तो कोर्सेज किए होंगे. सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग कोर्स, इवेंट मैनेजमेंट कोर्स. Of course, I did BCom because Marwadi. I did all different kinds of things to see what clicks, and nothing did. I trained for 3 months at a call center training program to work at one night at a call center and deciding this is not
for you.
Not for me. Then I worked for a mobile company. I was selling SIM cards.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, I used to work for, back then, Idea Cellular. So I used to sell SIM cards, go around and sell packages and SIM cards. And I used to report to this boss who had a big Nokia showroom. And he would send me to the far off places, 30 kilometers,
The
40
worst ones.
kilometers away, and on a bike and all weather conditions. So I was raised like a girl, literally, like very protective Marwadi household. So I was in a rough terrain, and as much as I wanted to do something, it was very taxing, and the boss wouldn't let me, have a good time. Like if I came back with say 3 sales, he'll be like, चार चौथा कहाँ है? And I used to be, मेरे को बहुत बुरा लगता था उसको. मुझे लगता था यार ये, एक दिन ना मैं तेरे ये नोकिया के शोरूम में ना, मेरा फोटो लगेगा. मैं ये ब्रांड का एम्बेसडर बनूंगा. मतलब मैंने आई बिकम सक्सेसफुल एंड नोकिया ही नहीं रहा.
कोई बात नहीं, दूसरे फोन्स के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बन गए.
हाँ, बन सकता.
Wow. And then from there you decided to join FTI.
Yeah, so when I failed at several, I didn't fail, I tried several things and nothing really clicked. Until I applied at FTI, I didn't get selected. Then I did theater in Hyderabad for a year. And when I did when I first stepped foot on the stage in a play, I got a clap and a laughter.
One clap.
No, I mean, I got claps and laughter. That's it.
One clap. Okay.
Bus. And रिहर्सल में नहीं पता चलता है कि ये होने वाला है. रिहर्सल में कोई आपको बताता नहीं है कि आप फनी हो
अच्छा
या
है
अच्छा है या
बुरा
बुरा
है.
है. आई वाज जस्ट आई हैव वन पियोन का एंट्री. आई कम फॉर 5 minutes and I leave. But that 5 minute entry created an impact and that gave me a sense of rush and euphoria, you know. So I figured कि this is nice. I want to do this. So then I kept doing theater on the side in hiding, you know. My father wouldn't know. Family also didn't know much what I was doing. मैं कॉलेज जा रहा हूँ बोल के थिएटर करने चला जाता था, चुपचाप करता था. बट मेरी अखबार में फोटो आने लग गई थी प्ले के बारे में, प्ले के एड्स या प्ले के रिव्यूज. Then I used to flex it to my family and my father would be like, not interested. कॉलेज के टाइम पे ये सब कर रहा है, कर ले. He thought it's a side hustle on the
Side
college.
thing.
Until I applied at FTII, got the seat. Then it just became very real. Like I have to leave home and go for a 2-year course to Pune. Something that even I wasn't prepared for and nobody in my family was prepared for. And then that was a tough time because I didn't know how I will be able to do this. Or will I be able to even go? I have the seat, but I don't know if I will be able to go. I think वो जो saying है ना कि you take one step and universe take 10 steps. Because I was taking several small steps towards it. Help came. My friend, you know, one day he showed up at my place and he said, you know, you said you got selected at this film institute. कब जाएगा? I said, I don't know if I can go. I don't think my father will allow, and I don't have the money to pay the fees and everything. So he said, I'll pay you the fees. You go. I saw you on stage. You are meant for this. You should just
How
go.
sweet.
And he just gave me big, fat chunk of cash.
Saying go pay your fees.
Yeah, I've never been given that kind of money by anybody. He's a well-to-do friend, but that heart is something that I don't think it's a rare heart to be that giving. So he paid me the fees. I was like, half my confidence came. Then I told my mom, and she said, if you think you should do it, do it. And I lied to her. It's a 1-year course. I'll come back to Hyderabad, and I got scholarship and sab jhoot bol ke. Then she said, you go for a year. It's okay, but you will tell your father. And I was like, I can't tell my father. I'm imagining Agni Sakshi ka Nana Patekar.
He's coming at you.
Yeah. So I didn't have the courage to ask him. I was like, because I had already tried several other things and I failed at it. He'll be like, "Tu ye
One more, this is
karte
one more
rahega
thing."
kuch na kuch." So then I was like, I don't know what to do. So I thought I'll leave behind his back when he goes for his tour. He left for his tour. I packed my bags. I'm about to leave and I'm seeing my sister cry. I see my mother cry. I am crying. My brother is trying to hold the ground. And I didn't feel right. I was like, I can't leave.
Without telling him?
Yeah. So I picked up that phone and I said, you know, पापा मैं ऐसे मुझे स्कॉलरशिप मिल गई है और इंडिया का बेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूट है और मुझे 1 साल का कोर्स फ्री में दे रहे हैं और मैं उसके बाद में आके यहाँ पर काम करूँगा. And he said something very, very nasty to me. And I said, and then he said, मेरे आने से पहले निकल जाना बेटा. So I said, thank you. Cut the phone. I said, he told कि उनके आने से पहले निकल जाना तो मुझे निकलना चाहिए. Packed my bags, left.
डरने पड़ेंगे.
Left. I didn't want him to come back home and like create havoc.
Of course.
So then I just went and my life changed. Chapter 2 for me.
And how?
Yeah.
And how?
Yeah.
I remember you telling some of us on set, एक बहुत अच्छी आपने पूरी कहानी बताई थी कि you were in Bombay and you were struggling, you were waiting, audition कर रहे थे, you were trying to find that एक role मिल जाए and
एक role.
you were not getting it and you were even thinking, I think you told me कि you were planning to leave Bombay, and I think you will just say the story better, but I think everyone should hear the story of how you landed that first big break in Gully Boy, after which you arrived. So I feel like that story, I was so inspired hearing it because people don't see the पीछे का यार कि कितना मुश्किल था, कितनी बार बंदा almost give up कर चुका था, कितनी बार बंदे ने बोला कि यार is this for me? Should I quit? Should I leave?
Yeah.
And then when you don't, something magical happens.
Okay, so I came to Bombay in say 2009 and I did theater, this, that, small roles, movies, release, not release, nothing successful, nothing to speak about. Media doesn't know about me. Nobody is interested in me. And I had enough. I'd done films, but they would come and go, and my life would be the same. You know, I would get maybe another film. And sometimes I would do films just to get another film. That was the phase for like 8-10 years. उस टाइम पे क्या हुआ था, 2017 की बात है ये. 2017 में I kind of hit the the worst bottom that I've seen in my life. What had happened is, Pink I did in 2016, in which I play a really abusive guy. Small part, but it created an impact. What it did was it created just, I got stereotyped, and all the opportunities that were coming were in the similar zone. उसी तरह के role मुझे सब offer कर रहे थे, and I was not. I was like, I'm more than this. So I was not taking those jobs up. And from 2016 to 2017, I maybe tried. I was constantly going and testing for auditions, and this film, that film, that film, that film. हर 3-4 महीने मैंने बहुत कुछ ट्राई किया था. एक दिन मैं आया घर पे and I wrote down all the auditions I did. जैसे ये फिल्म, ये किया. And then I looked at them and I said, ये नहीं मिली, 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 ये नहीं मिली. And I saw 15 names of everything that I tried, and nothing was worked. So I'm like, मैंने सब कर लिया यार, मेरे को I'm not fitting anywhere. And so then I was like, कि maybe I don't know what to do. Like I don't know if I fit anywhere. And that was probably the first time I went on a solo trip to Shillong or someplace, and I just put myself in some place, and I didn't have any money. I was just like roaming around aimlessly. Then a small ray of hope came. This is a film that I had done in 2011-12, which went to Cannes in 2013, called Monsoon Shootout, but released in December 15th, 2017. So 6-7 साल बाद में वो film release हो रही. It's a film where I'm the lead. A film that I was waiting for it to come out. So that is releasing on 15 December 2017. So I'm like, okay, I need to go back to Bombay. I have some purpose. And luckily, on the same day, another film that I had done, a Telugu film, MCA, same day release. So I have 2 releases on the same day.
On the same day?
Same day of 2017, 15 December. I still remember the date. So I come back, and 15 December came, Monsoon Shootout came, and went without a trace. The South film came, it became a big success, but उधर के reviews में और जो भी मुझे feedback मिला था उसमें मेरी बजाई. They were like, ये कैसा villain ले लिया? Who is this child actor? He is not looking like a villain. So they didn't like me, is what a feeling I got. Anyway, I was in a bad state of mind, so even small criticism must have, gotten to me. So 15 December this happens. I'm like, ये एक फिल्म जिसका मैं इंतजार इतने सालों से कर रहा था, वो आई और चली गई, और दूसरी फिल्म जो है वो सक्सेसफुल हो गई, लेकिन मेरा उसमें मुझे कोई प्यार नहीं मिला उसमें. And so I go into that new year very, very sad, very, very sad. And I remember thinking, I don't know, maybe I should just going back home was not an option for me because
disappointments.
I don't know if I can live with myself, after because when you leave home, there's a certain kind of disharmony that happens from your leaving. And I don't know if I can fit back in my own house, and that can be tough. And I would be a very small version of myself. So I didn't know what to do. Around that time, there's this, got a casting call for Gully Boy. So there's a role, come and audition for it. I said, kya film hai? Gully Boy. I Googled it. One Google search showed that there's Ranveer Singh, there's Alia Bhatt. There are so many big names attached. And I said, okay, so it's for a friend's part and stuff like that. I said I should audition at least. I went and I auditioned for the part. I come back and they said, after a few days, this is Zoya wants to meet you. So now I'm suddenly feeling like not excited, but excited. I'm like, chalo, theek hai. I know it's a small part, but at
But
least
it's
director is
Zoya
meeting
Akhtar,
me.
dude.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
director wants to meet me.
Yeah.
मतलब it's audition का आपका दौर खत्म हुआ लाइफ में और डायरेक्टर मिल रहा है आपसे.
Correct.
So मैं रास्ते में हूँ, रिक्शे में जा रहा हूँ बैंड्रा की तरफ, कार्टर रोड ऑलमोस्ट पहुंचने ही वाला हूँ. I got a call from the casting office saying that those two scenes that you auditioned for, we'll do that again. I said, I'm just about to reach. He said, no. I said, meeting thi. नहीं वो she wants to see the scenes again. I'm just finding that PDF, going through those scenes again. We must have been 2 weeks. I don't remember the scene.
Yeah.
So I'm quickly memorizing the lines and stuff. I go, we meet, we shake hands. I sit down. I thought I'll tell her about my monsoon shoot out and this and that. She's like, we're ready? Okay. She put the camera. She opened the handy cam and she's like, okay, whenever you're ready. I'm like, okay, awesome. So I played the scene out in front of Zoya in her office, right behind, like she's on that side of the table. I'm sitting here. I made a mess of her office because this guy is uncultured and spitting and pokoing and all kinds of stuff. So we recorded, and then soon enough I left. And I'm thinking, okay, so I don't know if this is a good role or not. So I said I should at least ask for a script. So I called up whoever I needed to call up, ask for a script. The script came, and I was like, there are so many banging parts in this script, and what I am getting is not one of them.
And there's so many big actors.
It's a film about rap music.
Yeah.
And so many characters are part of the music culture
Right.
in the narrative. And this guy has nothing to do with it. I'm like, ये तो बहुत ही साइडी कैरेक्टर है यार, क्या करूँ मैं? Anyway, I thought मिलेगी भी नहीं शायद. Long story short, I got a call. They said, you've been selected for the part. And now I'm thinking, I don't have work. I don't have money. I have this one ray of hope. But it is, again, I'm thinking it's a small part.
कुछ नहीं होगा इससे.
मेरा कुछ होएगा नहीं.
Wow.
Because I know, then the part of MC Share I had read. And I know the impact that it has on script. उसमें जो भी लड़का आएगा, he's
outside
like,
of Ranveer and Alia, he's going to get spoken about.
he's the then there is Kalki's part, there's Vijay Raj is there. All these, incredible actors are there in the film, and I'm just like one of the characters. Anyway, तो मुझे एक दिन फोन आया, बोला कि you've got the part. I go in with that. उस टाइम पे मेरा, I think I was jaded as fuck. I was like, कुछ नहीं होगा, चलो ठीक है, एक बड़ी फिल्म में छोटा रोल कर लेंगे और एक फिल्म मिल जाएगी. I go in, we shoot. I enjoyed the shooting process a lot. I think Zoya knows how to make films, and also she knows how to bring the crew together and make the most of the time and give actors enough freedom and inspiration to kind of perform their best. So I enjoyed the process of the filmmaking, but
With no expectations.
with no expectations. बीच में और एक छोटी सी चीज हुई थी. उसमें से जो एक लिस्ट बनी थी ना मेरे, उसमें Sacred Games भी था.
Oh.
So I got a part in Sacred Games, and then I got thrown out of it because Anurag had not informed his entire team that he had locked some other actor for the part.
Oh, those are the worst.
हाँ, तो हाँ होने के बाद में ना हुआ था. I don't know why I said that, but
Basically, you were coming from even more disappointment.
even more. I came from maximum disappointment.
Hopelessness.
So I went in, did that. I finished shooting for Gully Boy. Then I finished. Luckily, I got She. Because that was the first time actually मेरे बारे में news बनी थी.
But wait a minute, Gully Boy released, and then everyone was talking about you.
Gully Boy created a massive
It created a
impact.
huge impact.
Yeah,
Suddenly
it
he was like,
created
who's this guy?
Yeah.
Like, and he looked like an actor. एक actor आया है. It just felt like somebody who can act.
Yeah.
And it just became a whole thing. And your life possibly changed, and I'm just trying to understand कि उस वक्त आपको समझ में आया भी कि नहीं आया कि अब बदलेगी जिंदगी या अब बदल गई है. यहाँ से मुझे बहुत काम मिलेगा. I'll get everything that I want to do.
Yeah, उस टाइम पे मुझे पता चला क्या होता है एक सक्सेसफुल फिल्म का पार्ट होना, जिसमें आपका रोल से कुछ इम्पैक्ट होता है. मुझे उसके पहले पता ही नहीं था. Before that, I used to go to all these events, and I would walk past the red carpet and nobody would stop. Nobody would take pictures, and that was my life for years, And then I was just like casually watching my film in theater, and I was coming out and I saw like janta screaming, Moin bhai, whatever, wow, wow. And it was everywhere. I was like, what is this? I'd never
Yeah.
tasted anything like that. It felt so good. I feel like मेरे जितने भी घाव थे ना, जितने भी सारे जितनी भी चोटें लगी थी, एक साथ सब पे मरहम लग गया था. I was fixed, I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a journey.
yeah, it was.
When I think about लोगों की journey के बारे में जब सोचती हूँ तो I always think twofold, right? I think एक personal होती है, एक professional होती है. Professionally, you came from a place where आपको बिल्कुल hope नहीं थी to boom, like people surrounding you, repeating dialogues that your character has said, calling you by your character's name,
Yeah.
which is the ultimate thing for any actor. Personally, where were you? And personally, where are you? I wanna take this to like, what are your thoughts on love? प्यार के बारे में, शादी आपको करनी है नहीं करनी है, बहुतों को नहीं करनी होती आजकल. Do you want to have kids or do you think of a different life? आप चाहते हो कि आप independent रहो, आपकी लाइफ में freedom रहे, आप art बनाओ, and you know that's the world you want to take.
Yeah.
So where are you vis-a-vis all of this?
I think love is the universal medicine. It's the glue that connects everything, and it's been one of the most significant and important ingredient in the working of my life. जैसे तुमको पता है कि मतलब I spoke about my mom and my sister, but there's more nuance to it. My sister has 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. My brother has 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy. We have 5 girls in the household.
Oh.
And most of them very, very close to me. Like they are still very close to me, but उनको मैंने बड़ा किया है. मतलब I've done susu potty everything.
मतलब you've cleaned their susu potty. Yes, yes, we get it.
Yeah. So I became very, very attached, and I'm their mama and their chacha. So the kind of love that I experienced within my household, and especially with these nieces and nephews, was enough. I felt like if I have this kind of love and this kind of care and this kind of just support, I can do anything in my life. I feel like what love does is it gives you wings to fly. It gives you enough grounding and wings at the same time so that you're not हवा में पूरी तरह उड़ नहीं जाओ या पाताल में धरती में धंस नहीं जाओ. आपको एक इक्विलिब्रियम, एक अच्छी जगह पे रखता है उसको. So it has been something that for me, if I have to choose between several significant things in life, I would rate love to be the most significant things.
Wow.
More than money, more than fame. Because none of this makes sense if there's no love.
Like, what are you doing all this for? अगर आप पैसे भी कमा रहे हो, आप नाम भी कमा रहे हो, इज्जत भी कमा रहे हो, और I understand, I mean, that is a thought for most people, कि फिर किसके लिए ये सब?
Yeah.
Like, you want to do it for your family, like right
as soon as love is taken out of your life, you immediately first thing is like, why am I doing what I'm doing? It makes no sense. You can't share this.
Yeah, because beyond a certain amount of money, and I've had this conversation with a lot of successful people, they only want to now make money किसी मम्मी के लिए, पापा के लिए, वाइफ के लिए, बच्चे के लिए, because your needs और आपकी जो exciting things है वो आपने कर ली. एक बार आपने BMW गाड़ी खरीद ली तो खरीद ली, उसके बाद दूसरी वाली का सेम इफेक्ट नहीं रहेगा. एक बार आपने बड़ा घर खरीद लिया तो खरीद लिया. Actually, lockdown was a very significant moment for all of us, where we figured out, first of all, a very important term called essential. Right. Essentials क्या है लाइफ में, सबको पता चल गया. साबुन, झाड़ू पोछा, ठीक है, सब्जी रोटी चावल, डिस्पिरिन, whatever, just like हाँ, सब्जी, गैस, light, fan, seasonal fruit, whatever, like correct. Biscuit. Very small things. These are essentials in life. इसके अलावा हम जो भी कर रहे हैं वो सब अपनी मस्ती के लिए कर रहे हैं. तो वो ग्लोबली सबको समझ में आया कि essentials क्या है लाइफ के. right. और हमारा essentials, comfort, luxury के बाहर कुछ है ही नहीं. क्या है? कुछ नहीं है. So, and I've survived on essentials for a long period of time. I had survived on essentials only. So for you, it was easy? Yeah, it was very easy. No, lockdown was
Yeah, surviving
on
essential is easy for me generally, but lockdown was particularly difficult. So
Why is
Gully
that?
Boy released 2019, and then I was flooded with work. Within a week, I was shooting Mirzapur, then I was shooting She, then I was shooting another one, then I was shooting another one, and then I was shooting The Hard. Da, 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 shooting, 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 shooting. Life was looking fab and everything, and I didn't have time to think about myself. I was constantly engaged in creating movies, in creating characters, in creating art, and living the best version of myself, I felt. And then everything paused. I was all alone in an apartment in Bombay. I mean, I was lucky I had a small terrace. I could see the sky and I could, be with the elements. Otherwise, I would have gone mad. I did. What happened was that pause made me realize that, this constantly running after work
Film
and
to
just
film to
and,
film.
and just making work as my existence, उसका जो बाई प्रोडक्ट है वो ये है कि आप पूरी तरह से अकेले पड़ जाते हो.
Why? Friends तो रहते हैं, but you're so busy.
But no, friends, they can't come and meet me. I feel like, I need to be able to sit with people or to have somebody over or to go meet somebody and all alone for 4 months is tough.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean in that period you felt?
Yeah, I felt very, 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 very lonely, very afraid. And then I was like, why am I not able to move out of my couch for 4 days? What is going on? And at that time, me, Ira, and Gulshan were a trio because she was also helping, she was also assisting on the hard.
Ira Khan.
Ira. So Gulshan Devaya, me and Ira became very good buddies during the making of the hard. So we became like a circle that we would constantly video call each other on Zoom call. We'd have dinners together and stuff like that. But then I kept deteriorating, and she was the first one to point out that, Vijay, I think you need to like start moving a little bit. You're just
get some sun
हाँ.
off your body, yeah.
So I said, okay, so then she would do Zoom workouts. She would be my coach and she'd make me work out.
How cute.
And she's also a fitness girl.
Yeah.
And she knows that maybe she's identified it in me. Eventually, I did speak to a therapist at that time because I was just unable to move. Then I met the therapist on Zoom, and I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Depression was pretty severe at that time. And she said, if it is something that you can manage, otherwise we'll put you on medication. I said, let me see. I haven't spoken to anybody openly about a lot of stuff that I haven't processed. So I started to kind of seek therapy, and जो इतने साल का जो मैंने एस्केप किया था वो सारे सरफेस पे आने लग गए थे. So there was yoga that was bringing out so much churning inside me, and then there was therapy to, so I was doing it
both simultaneously.
Both at the same time. I was on yoga mat. I would stand in the third or fourth Surya Namaskar. I would collapse and I couldn't get up for like hour, 2 hours. I would just cry. I didn't know why. And
like a deep depression.
Deep depression, and also unattended emotions, unattended feelings, unresolved. So a lot of stuff, I think I did carry a lot of guilt of leaving home. I still some part of me carries a deep regret for leaving home, because when you leave home, a certain part of your family, a key ingredient in your family is gone, and they miss you, and I never could make peace with it. I still sometimes feel like, that decision, as much as it is very good for me, I don't know if it is good for everybody.
And you were carrying all of this guilt and जो सारी emotions थे आपके dad को लेके, आपकी life को लेके, maybe you felt like, your mom and your sister were there and you should have been doing things for them, but here you are being selfish.
And not achieving anything.
For such a long time.
For such a long period of time. To do what? It makes no sense. You put yourself out there for 10 years away from your family to do what?
But it does make sense to do this.
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, I bring a lot of joy and pride in them now.
And now they must
when things changed. Yeah. But it was not looking like that at that time.
But what's so amazing is that often men, especially successful men, do not come from a place where they want to share their vulnerabilities or they want to say that they go through like anything mental health related, because it kind of like demasculates them, like we were talking about the clothing as well, right? And I think इतना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है ये आज के दिन में, because people really struggle. और अगर आप
Yeah.
सुन लेते हो कि अच्छा विजय वर्मा भी स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, तो फिर नॉर्मल है ना, क्योंकि for anybody else it's like अच्छा उसको तो he's a star, he's doing
Yeah.
films, he's making money, he's also suffering from depression, so I can,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that stigma being lifted slowly and steadily is really, but I've been seeing it through the journey of this podcast, is really fantastic.
No, I'm glad Ira, chipped in at the right time.
Ira was the one who connected
Ira
you?
was the one. She said, "You need to start moving, Vijay." And she would put me on Zoom classes and
She does some
train me.
amazing work, that
And
girl.
then she also said that therapy is not bad. You should try therapy. I said, "No, I don't think I'm." And because I also come from a dysfunctional family of sorts, भाई अगर आप ऐसे घर में आपके अगर फैमिली डिस्फंक्शनल रही है कभी भी बचपन में या आपके टीन्स
ज्यादातर
में,
लोगों की रहती है.
तो आपको यार थोड़ा सा सॉर्ट कर लेना चाहिए, बिकॉज यू एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट लीव्स अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इम्प्रेशन इन अ चाइल्ड्स माइंड, विच जैसे मुझे लगता है कि मेरे काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हैं, काफ़ी सारे बैड मेमोरीज मैं
Erase
भूल
कर
गया
दिए.
हूँ. अभी तुम मुझसे मेरे चाइल्डहुड के बारे में पूछोगी तो मुझे शायद याद भी नहीं है कि बहुत खराब चीज़ें अगर हुई है नहीं हुई, मुझे याद ही नहीं है.
Oh.
बट आई स्टिल फील लाइक सबकॉन्शियस माइंड रिमेंबर्स इट. You might try to
Yes.
erase the memory of it
Yes.
because it's too traumatic for you and you want to look forward and move ahead in life and not look back. It's a conscious very like मैं ये करना है मुझे.
हाँ, it remembers it and वो आपकी
It remembers
personality
it.
बदल देता है.
हाँ, it shows up in quiet.
कहीं जगहों पे आके बैठ जाता है वो.
It shows up in the quiet, alone. It creeps in when it needs to, and the more you resolve it, the more you speak about it, the more you actually go out and seek help, the sooner you will come out of that pattern. The sooner you'll resolve those and maybe feel freer. Yeah.
And I think according to me, my understanding of anxiety जो है वो है कि anxiety is just unprocessed emotion.
Yeah.
अगर आप emotion को बाहर नहीं आने देते हो, वो कहीं ना कहीं anxiety बन के बैठ जाती है body के अंदर.
Yeah.
And so if you allow yourself to feel,
Yeah.
I think, which is also a big problem. It's a big disease, I would say. People
Yeah.
are so scared of feeling, so afraid of expressing emotion with others. तो छोड़ो, expressing emotions with themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of this anxiety pandemic will just probably disseminate अगर लोग अपने आप को feel करने दें,
Yeah.
express करने दें, चाहे through therapy, चाहे
Yeah.
through a friend, चाहे with yourself, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Keep brushing it under the carpet, but
it catches up at
it
some
catches
point.
up. It
अब
catches
जितना
up.
भी भागोगे,
कितना भी
eventually the
भागो.
storm is going to come there. But
And another lopsided and another, I would say,
दूसरा नजरिया,
नहीं इसका एक ये करेंसी की तरह भी यूज करते हैं एक्टर्स और आर्टिस्ट, द पेन, द सफरिंग, द अनसर्टेनिटी and sometimes the confusion and 500 tabs open at the same time, and actors are able to use it, artists are able to use it in their stories and their performances, and that can also become like a
addiction.
that can also become like it's like a tool, right?
Is that healthy, Vijay?
It's not healthy at all.
No, right?
But it does make a difference.
It does add to the performance.
It does add to the performance.
I mean,
it doesn't. So I don't think it adds to the. I'm not looking at it from that lens. I'm thinking of it as from a different thing. I feel like either you have are you equipped to do this part? If I've gone through certain life experiences, which are very complex, then my ability to adapt to this character becomes higher. So you're more equipped to play certain parts because you understand
complexity of emotion itself. Yeah.
Complexity of emotions, and also like how flawed human beings are in so many
you're okay with
different
it.
ways.
Yeah.
In widest varieties of way we are flawed. I feel like we are flawed, and the journey is to, sometimes I have found myself when I'm stuck in and I'm emotionally I'm caged and I can't express my emotions. I find it as a blessing to go out and do a scene where I have to let out something, where I feel something,
And you express it.
and it's out there, and I feel like I feel free in that moment to just have a place where I can just feel real, just express. And many takes, yes, do it. Or एक take करना है, because you
want to let it out.
shit out of your system, you know.
Yeah, and which is why I was saying that, you know, you
Fucked up.
it is messed up, but it's also beautiful if you think about it.
नहीं, मेरे को अगर नहीं होता ना, अगर मेरे पास ये नहीं होता ना, मैं पागल हो जाता, शर्तिया पागल हो जाता मैं.
And अगर आपके पास आउटलेट नहीं है और है भी तो लोग यूज नहीं करते हैं, and that's the thing about life, right? What I was saying earlier is that to find that hope and that beauty in the pain that you have been through and to express it in any
I just
form.
thank God that I have a place to express something.
No, I thank God for you too. We don't want you to go through depression or any of that. But on this lovely note, should we take a break?
Yes, we should.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Break?
क्या है ये छुपे तेरे notes?
All right. Now it's time for the diary.
Okay.
The black diary.
What is the story behind this black diary?
It's a black diary. All right. And in the black diary, we have a lot of secrets.
Sneakers.
Yeah? Secrets.
Secrets.
Okay, we're going to play a fun game. It's called Toxic or Deep.
Okay.
We play a unique game with every person who comes. This is uniquely designed for you.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm going to say a line, and you're going to tell me if you think that is a toxic behavior or is it just a deep, insightful person.
Oh my
saying
God,
that.
I'm such a big empath.
Empath, yes.
Empath.
I think we've established through this journey of this podcast that you're sweet and vulnerable. Now let's see if you're deep and insightful also.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I can fix them. They just need someone to believe in them.
Toxic.
Can I go first? I used to think that's so deep and sexy in my 20s. But now I'm like, bye.
मैंने डार्लिंग्स की है. मुझे पता है कि फिक्स नहीं होते.
नहीं होते. Nobody can be fixed. If they wanted to, they would.
Yeah, it's real. It's deep.
It's real.
Yeah. Intention is everything. नियत.
Yeah. करने वाले सब करते हैं. Love is supposed to hurt a little, otherwise it's not real.
I think it's a toxic trait. See,
it's kind of deep also, no?
Because it is marinated in so many attachment styles, right? So, like somebody who's an avoidant attachment style, just inability, and I am one. So you get gripped in fear and panic every time something gets really
close.
Because you know, like when you see as a child something significant, some important, significant, close relationship fail you, then you realize that, you know, you're losing control and what they want is not what you want, you know. So then that's defense mechanism you carry for the rest of your life. That becomes your attachment style. So what was your question again?
He avoided meet anxious. My question is, love is supposed to hurt a little, otherwise it's not real.
So for an avoidant, it will seem like it needs to hurt. It will hurt. Because that's the only truth. That's the only truth that they know. But I feel like it's a toxic trait because some part of me is broken. That's why.
That's what hurts, not the love that hurts. Interesting.
Love is supposed to make you feel free.
Yeah, but love always hurts also, na? It's if you just like, love is supposed to do a lot of things. We all have this idea of love, but then love always hurts, na? Outside of a mother and child, every other love has hurt me to for sure.
It hurts. See, ending of things hurts.
Yeah.
But staying in it, if it is hurting, then I don't know if it is love.
Fair. Fair. It is a deeply complex question. Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find love.
But that won't sustain.
So it's
You
toxic.
can't lose yourself forever.
Yeah, you'll get sick of it.
It's
So toxic. You attract what you haven't healed yet.
100%.
It's deep, right?
It is 100% deep, and it's a proven science. If you understand attachment theory, this is it. You will keep attracting the same situation. It's not the person. You're
It's the
attracting the
pattern.
same kind of dynamics which hasn't been resolved or healed
From
or-
childhood
from childhood
till now.
Yeah.
Which is why
Attachment
daddy
has nothing.
issues,
Love has nothing to do with romantic love. It has to do with love.
attachment.
With love, and it could be with work also. And if it is deep rooted, it will sip into it will marinate itself in every aspect of your life eventually.
So it's deep. It's not toxic.
Yeah.
It's not cheating if it's emotional.
Emotional cheating is cheating.
Yeah, right. It's worse than physical
100.
cheating.
I would agree so.
So that's a toxic statement. Love is when you still stay even when it stops feeling good.
That's called Rishta Nibhana.
That's called. That's deep, actually.
It is deep. I mean,
You fight for your love.
again, dysfunctional family. So this relationship that stayed are the ones that endured.
Yeah.
It's very easy to end things and move on, but
And ultimately-
it's important to kind of see if you can sail through it and come closer together. It's an opportunity, I feel.
And that potentially is what like a marriage would be, right? Two
Yeah.
people who are willing to
Yeah.
not tap out when shit gets
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, it's not going to be 100 every time. It's going to oscillate, and you will have good days, the other person will have good days. You will have bad days, the other person is having a great day.
And bad
You're
months
going
and bad
through a
phases.
bad state of mind, you're going through bad emotional phase, your sense of loss, and so many things are not matching all the time. And you're supposed to kind of provide the right kind of support in those crucial times.
Fair. They'll come back if it's meant to be.
That's a stupid theory, but yeah, eventually जो होना है वो होगा.
It's kind
वो
of too, it's kind of toxic to hold on to that belief. Don't
नहीं,
you
जब
think?
तक नियत नहीं होगी तब तक कैसे आएगा कोई?
Fair, but like
Intention.
believing in this, is that toxic or is that deep?
It's toxic. It's delusional.
Agreed. I'm not arrogant, I just know my worth.
Yeah, I think it's deep, and it's real.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
I would think it's toxic.
yeah. Why do you say so? I'm not arrogant. I know my worth. Is having healthy boundaries and enough self-esteem to.
Sure, but I'm saying if someone has to spell it out to you that they're not arrogant, means that they are. If you're not arrogant, you're not going to come across arrogant. But then
Nee, what is the whole statement?
I'm not arrogant, I just know my worth.
It depends if
It
yeah.
depends on how it's said also. Really. Okay, we'll get this. Peace is boring.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know people can confuse peace with boredom, and that's just sad. Because peace is, I mean, boredom is also lovely.
Boredom is lovely and many people don't know how to remain
Yeah,
bored.
yeah. I can be bored alone and love it, but I especially like it if I can be bored with somebody else and feel peaceful.
Yeah.
And without the tendency to perform or to compensate for it. या कुछ यहाँ पर कुछ चीज मिसिंग नहीं है. यहाँ पर जो है ठीक है. बोर होना भी ठीक है साथ में यार. ये इसके पहले तो सब बोर ही होते थे ना. दोपहर में 2 घंटे लाइट भी चली जाती थी बचपन में. क्या करते थे? टीवी भी नहीं
बचपन
थी.
में तो बेड पे लेट के छत भी देखते थे.
हाँ.
2-3 घंटा.
Yeah, it's a pause for your brain. It's important.
Okay. I don't chase, I attract.
If they're not putting in any work,
Then toxic.
it's just very toxic.
Otherwise, can be deep also.
कुछ तो करना ही
In
पड़ेगा.
life context, it can
हाँ
be deep.
मतलब मैं यहाँ पर बैठ के नहीं बोल सकता कि बंगला बनाना है. I don't chase, I attract. हाँ भाई.
Chase करना
पैसा
पड़ेगा,
कमाना
काम पे जाना
पड़ेगा.
पड़ेगा, yes. I forgive, but I don't forget ever.
There are people like that, and then there are people who I feel like I forget.
But you don't forgive?
No, I forgive and forget. Forgive and forget both.
I feel like I forgive, but I don't forget.
Yeah, because that's your way of defending. It's a mechanism
Survival
to protect
mechanism.
yourself.
Yeah.
Protect yourself.
But is that deep or is that toxic?
Depends how you. So if you say you've forgiven somebody, or you've made peace with a certain situation, if you meet that person or you put yourself in a certain situation in life ever again, you feel peaceful.
Not me, no more situations ever again. Just think my own
So if you feel peaceful in that moment or with that person or the similar circumstances, and you feel all right, not, you know, then I think you are forgiven truly.
Yeah. Then you just reach enlightenment.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone truly, truly ever forgives and forgets. If something really bad has been done to them.
The thing is, memory will fail you, but subconscious in your body remembers
Body
a
will
lot.
The real ones stay, the rest were lessons.
It's toxic because real
कौन है
one,
ये
you know,
और ये the one भी कौन है यार
the one,
जो बचपन से आया रहा है just wait for the one
the
he's
real
not the one
Yeah.
he's not the one
Yeah.
who's this one
Who is this one?
I think we are only that one for ourselves
Yeah. Yeah. The
you
real
know
one
yeah
stays. If you stay for yourself,
that's all you can
that's all you
expect
can
really
expect. Yeah. I feel like then that's so much weight on this real one to do so well for me.
I swear like they have to be perfect in every way they have to
Yeah.
be
Imagine the
good
pressure on
looking
that
kind they have to
poor
be there for
shoulders.
you but they have to also have their own personality it's
Yeah. But yeah, of course, you are, as a human being on this planet, you are supposed to go through several experiences. Some of them are there just for experience and to maybe learn something from. And it's not like if you meet the real one, it stops. You will still go through life.
There is no perfection in
There's
this.
no perfection.
Unfortunately, हमने सबने वही सारी
Yeah.
same घिसी पिटी fairy
Denzel
tales और
Washington said it better than any of us.
what?
Said progress over perfection.
Okay, coming to the last part of this wonderful conversation, as much as I don't want to let you go, I wonder if I do believe that you and I will be friends for the rest of our lives, and
Yes.
if we were to have a conversation 20 years from now on the same couch,
Yeah.
and I still had my podcast. 20 years from I won't be that old.
Chapter
also, 20.
17.
Chapter 55. Where would you be in your life? And what do you think or what do you visualize and hope for yourself? Ki by then I would have done this, or maybe I would have had children.
20
maybe
years from now,
20 years from
I
now.
want to bounce around 60.
Bounce where?
Like I don't
You want to leave? Arey baapre.
I don't want to suffer old age.
So okay, 20 years to hai.
So I think right now I feel like my life is such an open canvas that anything can happen. Like part of me wants to like live in another city, part of me wants to live in an island, part of me wants to, stay in Florence, part of me wants family, part of me wants child, part of me wants to open up more possibilities apart from acting. So there are so many things that my mind is wandering into right now, which is very interesting for me, because I feel like when this kind of moment comes in your life is when I feel like you need to figure life out all over again. So which is where I am at. So I don't know where I'm going to be, but I feel like the pursuit is to definitely have kids and be a good parent and definitely have a lot of animals around, a lot of pets around. Also deeply be engaged in nature, be in the elements. I see myself in a nice wooden cottage house with a big patch of land around. I see animals.
Family.
I see mountains, and I see a stream of river around. I'm more mountain and a stream person than a sea person, and I see just like video games, playing video games, and having a sweet bunch of people coming in every day and engaging in some kind of a community.
Wow. That sounds quite nice actually.
Yeah, it's a very rosy picture. I love it. It could be anywhere in any of the mountain places.
Wow. And one life philosophy, if it had to be just one philosophy that you live by.
One life philosophy that I live by: live and let live.
Live and let live. I think that's a great philosophy.
Yeah.
I think everybody
Yeah.
should apply that philosophy
Yeah.
and the world will just be a better place.
I apply it. That's why all the noise around me, I switch off from it. It doesn't matter to me because it's just.
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm going to let you live the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you so much.
for coming to chapter 2 and having this lovely, lovely conversation with me. Lots of love.
It was absolute my pleasure.
My pleasure. Hi guys, thank you so much for sharing your insights and love for chapter 2. We really enjoy doing the podcast and sharing all of this with you all. अगर आपके कोई thoughts हैं, comments हैं, please tell us. Tell us about your chapter 2 stories and your journeys. Put it in the comments and we will reply. And the best story could potentially be here at the podcast with me, sharing it to the world. Lots of love. Keep sending all your comments.